Okay, I'm probably going to contradict myself about 18 times here, but whatevs. And the train of thought by which I got to this particular subject is totally bizarre, but whatevs. And I will blog. I will do another vlog about the first time, which was an event that happened on Wednesday that I'm really excited about and went really well. But anyway, so my soon to be new roommate tweeted about that he was disappointed or something like that, or bummed or whatever today, and I tweeted back like, well, your life's gonna get more interesting or something in a few weeks or whatever. And I'm downstairs now and I'm doing my laundry, and I realized like my laundry's gonna be in the unit, which is awesome. And then I just started thinking about stuff, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, um, like I'll be doing laundry like around someone, or with someone or whatever. And I have this sneaking suspicion that my relationship with him is going to be a little more interactive than my one is with my current roommate. And so I'm having these conversations with him in my head. And so I just kind of go to this like funny, because I'm like, I wonder how long it's been since he's lived with somebody. You know what I mean? And so in my head, I kind of made this joke, and I was like, "Yeah, you better hide all your porn." And then I started thinking about that, and I was like whatever, like porn, like who cares really? And so then I started thinking about porn, and I was just like, I think our generation, like my generation, like porn just isn't even that big of a deal anymore. So I'm going to say two things about this. This is what I'm going to contradict myself on. In some regards, I think porn is a big deal. Like I'm a feminist, and I think people who watch an extensive amount of porn, who can't get off without porn, who view like I don't know, you can kind of I don't know. Like I know people like this. Like that's not okay. Like they objectify women, their sexual ideals and their sexual premises are fucked. Like you can tell like they've been shaped by porn. And it's bad too, because like now this new generation, like it's all like it's all on the internet. Like it's very easy to get. It's not like they have to go run to the bookstore and get like a Playboy or Swank or whatever. I used to work at Crown Books. They sold a shitload of it. And that's a whole nother story too. But you know what I mean? Like it's just instantly at their fingertips. So it was funny. Like three of my friends were talking about this porn, internet porn, and they were joking, but they weren't joking. And like the one kid didn't have internet at that time, like just like for a while, and he was like, "Yeah, it's really bad. Like I don't even have anything to like masturbate to, or like whatever, blah blah blah." And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, not upset that he's like watching internet porn. I'm more like, you don't have anything to get off to. Like, you have your hand and your dick, and you can't think of some pretty girl at a meeting that you like, or some even fantasy girl, or a movie star, or really? Like, you can't get off now without internet porn? That's fucked. Like, you're like 25 years old. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucked. As my friend John would say, is that fucked up? That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So in that regard, like there's a problem with porn, and maybe I hang out with a lot of like guy alcoholics who not only had drinking problems, but obviously like had other issues. You know what I mean? Like sex was a thing. All of us. I think a lot of people have shit with sex, but do you know what I mean? Like they're addicted to a lot of stuff. One of them being fucking porn. Especially if they were like crackheads and shit. Whatever. I die fucking grass. But on the other hand, here's why I'm going to contradict myself. It's like I'm not a prude. Like I have girlfriends who seem all shocked when they find out that their boyfriends watch porn. And now I'm talking like normal porn, like not 18 hours a day of watching fucking porn. But like they watch porn now and again to like get off. And they seem shocked by this. And I'm like, really? You shocked by this? Like, people watch porn. Girls watch porn. I've seen some porn. Do you know what I mean? Like, the shit I watch is going to be different than the shit that a guy watches, I think. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like our generation just talks about it more. Like, yeah, we watch porn. You know what I mean? Again, I think it's when you become gluttonous about it and weird about it and, like, all the time about it that it's a problem for me. And again, like, in a perfect world, I guess, would prefer that it doesn't happen. You know, if you're getting it all the time and you have a great relationship, and I guess I would prefer that it not happen. Especially like if you have a good brain and you're imaginative. Like, there's the porn factory, right? But again, I just feel like we're just like more cash. Like, I wouldn't be like all freaked out like if I found my roommate had fucking porn. I'd be like, what ups? Again, also, I'll be honest with you, it also depends on, like, if a guy has an extensive litany, you know, 20 fucking Anal Invaders DVDs, I'm kind of like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, it depends also on, like, what's going on there, you know? You know, even if it was, like, one, I'd be like, okay, well, that's what he's into. But when it's, like, 20, and you're like, okay, that's what you're into. Objectifying. You're only into one thing, apparently. You only got your eyes on one fucking prize. And that's weird. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking weird to me. You know, and I've had girlfriends tell me about shit like that, where they're like, oh my god, and you had, like, you know, 4 fucking, like, anal DVDs or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, kind of weird. I think, right? I don't know. Maybe everyone's gonna be watching this and be like, you're fucking crazy. Like, you need fucking variety or whatever. I don't know. Again, I'm not, like, anti-porn. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. I watch porn. Not all the time. It's an occasional thing for me. But I'm just saying, like, I came to this through a fake joke in my head and thinking that I just feel like my generation is just much more casual about it. Like, back in the day, like, if there were Playboys happening, like, they were secret, they were hidden, they were, like, completely taboo, and they were Playboy. They were, like, some freaking, like, magazine with, like, you know, if by today's standards, I mean, and it was like, it wasn't until you even got to, like, Penthouse and Hustler that they even got more hardcore. And certainly I did not know anyone who had any sort of crazy magazines until I started working for Crown Books. And then I was like, oh, okay. Swank and Club International and, you know, Cherry and all this other shit. And I was like, oh, apparently these magazines get far more graphic than the good old Playboy. Like, you know, they get down and dirty, you know. There was one, I'm running out of time here, but there was one where there was a pullout, and it was this huge poster. I mean, huge fucking poster. And literally, it was like a crotch. I mean, it was like a crotch shot. I mean, like, crotch shot. Like, your gynecologist doesn't get that fucking close to your fucking cooch. And I was like, who's turned on by it? Like, what are you doing with this? Putting it on your wall and, like, fake putting your face in that? Like, it's a piece of paper. It's like magazine paper. What are you doing with that? I was just like, again, not a prude, but, like, on a practical level. Like, what are you doing with that piece of, like, what are you doing with that poster? Is that appealing to anybody? I don't know. Like, that, I remember that day just being like, okay, I'm completely, you got me on this one. Whatever. Anyway, great. Now my new roommate's gonna be like, what the fuck? So, whatever. Just doing some laundry. That's it. Crazy shit runs through my head. I will vlog about the first time, though, because it's gonna be a much better vlog than this one.